Welcome back to Quick Take Charge. I'm Tim Stenovec.
And I'm Jennifer Zabasaja in New York. So now to some news that's really shaking up the international world of soccer today. A group of the world's richest clubs, including Manchester United and Real Madrid, are planning a European breakaway league starting in August. So the Super League, as it's being called, would be an alternative to the prestigious UEFA Champions League. Let's bring in Bloomberg opinion columnist Alex Webb, who's been following this story very closely, and we're very excited to have him to talk about this. So, Alex, I'm seeing people call this radical, cynical, disgraceful. I could keep going. Why are they doing this?
It's a de-risking exercise for club owners. That, you know, if you consider US sports, you have NFL, NBA, MLB. It's the same teams compete year in, year out. That means that they know that they're guaranteed a certain level of income and they're not going to get relegated or promoted. In European competitions, if you have a poor year, you won't get into the top competitions. You might be relegated. The Champions League, which at the moment is the big European, the sort of premier European football competition, has only the top teams get into it each year. And if they don't do well, they won't go the next year. A lot of US investors coming into particularly English football, and it looks like they're trying to de-risk their assets and ensure that they have predictable recurring revenue.
U.S. investors and a U.S. investment bank, JPMorgan, coming in with a €4 billion or $4.8 billion bet on this. Talk about the opportunity for financially, not just for JPMorgan, but for the owners to make money here.
It's really about broadcasting rights. You know, this is a real sort of it's not listening at all to the fans in the UK or in Italy or in Spain, the people who go to these club games week in, week out. This is about international audiences, and therefore it's about broadcast revenues. Fans in Asia, in the US, are more likely to want to watch Manchester United Juventus than they are to want to watch Manchester United Burnley, which is probably the classic game we have, or even, you know, Manchester United Saint Etienne, like a smaller French team that might currently participate in the Champions League. So they reckon those games will be able to generate greater broadcasting rights and then, of course, extract greater profits. And there's one other consideration here that, like, if you are de-risked from relegation and promotion, you don't need to invest as much in the playing squad, so you can extract greater profits as well.
And Alex, I mean, you mentioned the fans. We did a Twitter poll this morning about this very topic, seeing whether people would watch it. A lot of our viewers said no. The majority of them said no. I mean, what's the response been over there to this news?
I mean, almost uniformly negative and condemnatory. It's hard to find anyone who's in favor of this. You know, even the people running these clubs, certainly in the UK, the names that are involved with the competition are not the British executives even. They've kept a very low profile because it's sort of widely despised. Even Boris Johnson has criticized it, perhaps obviously, given as a sort of he's gauging popular opinion, but there's very little support for it.
Why? Why is that? I mean, don't people just want to see the best teams play one another? What's sort of unorthodox about this?
You're being very American there.
I know. Please give it to me, Alex.
Think about Leicester City, which won the Champions League. These guys are self-appointed as the best teams in the country. You know, at the moment, Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur, they are nowhere near the top of the division, and yet they're claiming that they are among the best teams in Europe. At the moment, genuinely, if you or I were to set up a football team tomorrow, in theory, we could be playing in the Premier League in 10 years' time and then in the Champions League the year after that. In practice, it's a lot harder, but we have a league system whereby anybody can make a team and be a success if they've got the wherewithal to do it. And this just completely eliminates that romance from the game.
And Alex, if there's international condemnation, if we are hearing from, you know, the Prime Minister and from FIFA, is this actually going to happen? I mean, what's the likelihood that we'll actually see this get off the ground? Or do you think it will just be squashed before it can even go any further?
I mean, the response has been pretty strong. I think the real people, the regulators that we need to look to here are not necessarily UEFA and FIFA, but they're actually people like the European Commission, or in Britain, the Competition and Markets Authority. They have real clout to actually stop this sort of thing. And it looks like there's scope to make an argument that it is anti-competitive. I mean, it's almost by definition anti-competitive. It's got 15 members who will be the same members year in, year out, and a rotating cast of 5 additional teams. it is designed to reduce competition. It's hard to find a clearer definition of anti-competitive than that. And there is precedent in other industries for where the barriers to entry have been raised by what looks sort of like a cabal. And then the regulators have said, that is not allowed, you've got to stop it, and we're going to fine you. And so that is, I think, the trajectory that maybe we need to be looking to if it's really going to be stopped. Otherwise, it's likely to go ahead for, for a few years at the very least.
Bloomberg Opinions, Alex Webb. Alex, always great to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.